All right, additional thoughts time for Blank Face LP by ScHoolboy Q. And I think the best way to start this video is to pull a comment that came up on Patreon, and it said, Bob overanalyzing that part is that part. Which is just so perfectly done, in my opinion. I was laughing pretty hard when I saw that. Clearly on that track, I came across some lingo I'd never heard before. Literally had never heard that before. Someone had a great explanation of, the idea of if you've written something down, then the idea of underlining it or pointing at it, that part, to focus on, to emphasize. So there you go. Learned some new terminology. It was fun though, as I do, right? Reading the Genius annotation and then just going, no, right? And then going down my whole own fucking rabbit hole. But it's fun. And of course I learned over the week anyway as well. I was sitting here for a little while before I hit record, kind of nervous. And I was like, well, why? What's different here versus the other one? This, you guys, this is my favorite gangster rap album. This is my favorite one. I've heard a lot of different ones. I've heard some Pac, Biggie. I like Biggie quite a bit, man. He's got some great music. I've heard a lot of different stuff. DMX had some great album. I've only done one of his. I got to do more of those too. And I was trying to figure out why this one. Why does this one pull me in versus the other ones? And I just put a note here. It says, the idea of show, don't tell. And there's something about this album, I think a lot of it is just how each song, it really feels like it's serving its own purpose. Like the vocal performance, the production, it isn't just banger after banger after banger. It isn't songs talking about how hard this is or God, how can I explain this so that it makes sense? Basically, the mood shifts from track to track, pull me into this world. I feel like I'm in this world, both from the production side and from ScHoolboy Q's vocal performance and what he does. And it creates this like almost tangible sense inside of the album. And so I don't feel like I'm hearing somebody tell me about what their life is like. I feel like I'm there with them. And I'll put another thing here too. I think I said this on the reaction. It feels like this album is the other side of The Art of Pure Pressure. The track by Kendrick Lamar, where he's getting swept up on all the stuff that he doesn't normally do, but he's with the homies, It feels like this is the homies. This album is the homies. And what's cool about it too is it's not presented in a way of ruthless, evil, heartless, remorseless. Like, no, there's remorse here. There's awareness. There's a lot of, I don't want to say self-reflection, but there's awareness in this album too. So even this character, this idea, this blank face person rampaging around doing all these different things throughout the album still is aware of his own self and what he's doing. It's really quite fascinating. It's fantastic. And I put another thing here too. I've said before how I feel like Rage Against the Machine is the bridge between rock and hip hop. So if you've been in the hip hop lane your whole life and you want to try and cross over to like rock or metal, Rage Against the Machine can go get you over on that side. Same for the other way, but I feel like with Blank Face LP, if you picture the bridge, the bridges have the foundations on both ends where they link up with the mainland. Blank Face LP is the foundational structure of the bridge on the hip hop side. So you're not completely 100% on that side yet. Maybe you still got just a little bit on the rock side, because some of the way these songs come out, like which one was it? Oh God, no, I'm not going to remember anything. Whatever You Want, I think. Whatever You Want. Yeah, that one. That reminds me of a track by Pussifer, which of course I won't remember that one either. There's just little elements in the production, just fun little flares, little sounds. ScHoolboy, sometimes he gets crazy with his voice. The opening track, Torch, man, he's doing all this like echoing, stuttering sounds, and he's screaming and shit. Groovy Tony, Eddie Kane, you know, gets towards the end and I know, and we got all that. It's just fucking cool. It's got this energy into it, and it's less reliant on, I think with some of these other gangster rap albums, it's more seems like more of the focus is on, you know, just writing cold hard lines and having this persona of just essentially being a badass, more or less, right? Not necessarily. I actually want to take that back. But it seems more to be based on or focused on, I guess, how the lyrics are put together, the rhyming schemes and the flow style and stuff. And ScHoolboy keeps that, but he puts more just energy into it. And for me, someone who loves listening to metal and loves getting that energy, it lands so much more for me in that. Like, there's been times I've seen people talking, like in Discord or whatever, or comments, they'll talk about different bars, and it's like, oh man, that bar is, you know, that shit's hard. And it's like, yeah, it is, but I want the energy with it too. And he does that in this album a lot, in all directions. It's not just screaming. It's in all veins of these emotions and these moods. And so the whole album has this just very tactile experience to it, because I just feel like I'm sitting there with him the whole time. It's really kind of wild. I love it. And the whole album has got check marks, hearts, except for Overtime. I skip Overtime. I guess I saw comments, people talking about, I guess the label told him he had to put one on there. Whatever. You know, it's not like it's a terrible song, but I don't care. I skip it. Big Body grew on me a bunch. The whole album. Blank Face is a great track. Groovy Tony, Eddie Kane is fucking fantastic. By Any Means is cool. I like that one a lot too. Dope to John Muir. The whole album. It's great. I just put it on and let it go. And then I go, what the hell is this? Oh, it's Overtime. Right. And I skip, and then we're on the last song. Oh, it's over. Oh. What else do I have on here for notes? That's basically it. This is my favorite gangster rap album. I think when I zoom out, it's not terribly surprising to me, because I also really, really enjoy Love for Rent. Like, Love for Rent is more or less my favorite hip-hop album in terms of it does, in one album, all the things that I really like about hip-hop. And Blank Face is kind of in the same vein, only more over in the gangster rap lane, I suppose. If that makes any sense. Probably doesn't make any sense. Sometimes I feel a little weird doing these because I'm not the best at describing or explaining how I feel and why I enjoy these albums so much. But god damn, Blank Face is great. And it was kind of weird to learn, I guess, the ScHoolboy Q kind of regretted doing this one, or wished it wasn't as much of what it is, I suppose. And, you know, there you go. Everyone gets to have their own opinion about their own art, obviously, right? But man, I'm glad this is what it is and the way it is, because it's just an incredible ride from top to bottom. I guess that's it. I'm really looking forward to Blue Lips, I believe is the new name of the album, or the name of the new album. I think it comes out next Friday, or maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure. It's coming up soon. Haven't listened to any singles yet, but I'll definitely be checking that one out in real time when it comes out. So we'll see what he does. And yeah, I guess that's it. All right, y'all. Take care.